Daughters of Liverpool by Annie Groves. Read by Maggie Ollerenshaw. Chapter 1. December 1940. I called in at the salvage depot to see Dad on my way over here, and he was telling me that you're going to have some girl billeted on you. Jean Campion looked up from her annual task of anxiously working out if the Christmas turkey she had ordered that morning from St. John's Market was going to be too big for her gas oven, to look at her son, her hazel eyes warm with maternal love. She loved all four of her children, but Luke was the eldest, tall and dark-haired like his dad Sam, and her only son. A man now, not a boy any longer, with the experience of Dunkirk behind him and a year in the army. Yes, that's right. Jean pushed her still brown hair back off her face, her cheeks flushed a soft pink from her exertions. The kitchen was the heart of the Campion family's home. Modestly sized, but warmly furnished, with all the love that Jean and Sam gave their family, it shone with the pride that Jean took in her home. Her kitchen was her pride and joy, newly refurbished the year before the war had started. A gas geyser on the wall next to the sink provided Jean with hot water for all her domestic tasks, and was extra to the electric immersion heater upstairs in its own cupboard next to the bathroom. She and Sam had distempered the walls themselves, painting them a cheerful shade of yellow that made Jean feel as though the sun was shining, even when it wasn't. Sam had got the well-polished linoleum cheap from a salvage job he'd been on, and had fitted it himself, in the bathroom as well as the kitchen, and Jean kept it as shiny and as spotless as her pots and pans. Jean was a careful housewife, and she'd been thrilled when she spotted the remnant of yellow fabric with its red strawberry pattern on it, which she'd bought for the kitchen curtains. The big family oak table had come from a second-hand shop, and Jean and Sam had reupholstered the chairs themselves. She's supposed to be arriving this evening, but you knew what the trains are like. Your dad wasn't keen on us taking someone in, but, like I said to him, it's our duty, really. We've got 2 spare rooms now, after all, with you in the army and based at Seacombe, and Grace training to be a nurse and living in at the hospital, and only me and your dad and the twins here. Mind you, your dad said straight out that it would have to be a woman, on account of Lou and Sasha. The mention of his 15-year-old twin sisters made Luke smile. Well, I hope whoever she is, that she likes jitterbug music, he told his mother. I'm putting her in what was the twins' room, now that they've moved up into Grace's old room in the attic, said Jean, ignoring his teasing comment about the twins' devotion to their gramophone and the dance music they played on it. It will be more fitting. I could have done without her arriving the week before Christmas, mind, but there you are. In uniform, is she? Luke asked. Jean shook her head. No, she's going to be working at the old Littlewoods Pools place off Edge Lane where they censor the post. You know where I mean. Luke nodded. They've got going on for 2,000 working there now, so I've heard. Well, never mind about her, Jean said. Let's have a proper look at you. They had the kitchen to themselves. Otherwise Jean would not have risked embarrassing her tall, handsome soldier son by subjecting him to the kind of maternal scrutiny that more properly belonged to his school days, minus a brisk demand as to whether or not he had washed behind his ears. But the truth was that she was concerned about him. It might be over 6 months since Dunkirk, but Jean knew that her son had still not got over the heartache he had suffered then. It was thanks to Grace that she knew how he had been led on, and then let down by the very pretty, socially ambitious nurse he had been hoping to become engaged to. According to Grace, Lillian Green had never had any intention of getting seriously involved with Luke, and had simply used him. She and Grace had done their nursing training together, and she had boasted right from the start that she had decided to train as a nurse only because she wanted to marry a doctor. A decent ordinary young man ready to give up his life for his country wasn't good enough for her, and she had told Luke as much when he had gone to the hospital to see her on his return from Dunkirk. How much the experience of the British Expeditionary Force's retreat to Dunkirk, and its subsequent evacuation from its beaches, was responsible for the sometimes remote
Sample complete. Ready to continue?